going on, boys? Our rear cradle kit came in, man. All this shit here. That's what we're gonna be doing today. We're supposed to do it yesterday, but then the weather was kind of ugly. It's mad cold, so I was like, oh, I'm good. Also got the planted seat bracket in, but the thing with that is, my dumbass bought the wrong car key in. See how this one has like a slight curve to it? You know, I was supposed to get one with a flat bottom because I'm gonna be able to bolt that to the seat bracket. Since I already have that one, I'm just gonna go ahead and sell this seat off, get a new seat. But today, I'm gonna be focusing on doing the rear cradle lockout kit. Pretty straightforward. I got to get the car actually off the jack stands in the front. We got the new radiator in. As you can see, no condenser, no AC coming back in the car, like I said. Got all the lines on and everything. Oh, my fault. Got all the lines on and everything. There's also one at the bottom there. You're not going to be able to really see, but everything hooked back up for the most part on the front end. I'm just waiting on, obviously, the water pump so I can run that. I'm leaving this off for the time being just because it's easier just to do all this shit with the tank out of the way. There's no point in putting the tank on if I'm just about to take it right back off. We need the knock sensors. If we look down in here, I don't know if you're going to be able to see it from here, but oh, right there. No, not this bolt, but it's like right here-ish. Let's see. That right there. I got the push rods. I'm just waiting on getting the trunnion kit from CHE so I can put those rocker arms together. Heads will be complete at that point, and then I'll put the valve covers on, start plugging up everything back up top. And then at some point I do need to finish cutting this because, I mean, I was like, nah, fuck that, and I'm good. I was going to trim some today, and I might a little bit later, but I don't know. I don't really feel like dealing with the vacuum and shaping up all those fucking shards and everything else like that, so that might be for another day, man. I'm gonna go ahead and start getting this car off of the jack stands and getting it lifted up in the back end. Unfortunately, shit happens.
It's a ghost.
Facts. Sad days, man. Knock over the Red Bull. Cody.
Not Cody. You have to take those wheels off, huh?
It'll look a lot better whenever it starts actually like settling in once we drive it, the suspension. Because right now it looks fucking atrocious with all that. And I don't mind, but other people are like, oh, you have wheel game. Your wheels aren't tucked. Like, no, I'm not a fucking faggot. I'm not a dick in the booty ass little boy. There's 3 bolts holding in the rear cradle brace on the front end. It's a 18 and then 2 15s down here. We're gonna have to do the same thing on the other side to get the front end to drop down. A lot of fucking dust flying around. And normally, if you have your fender liner in, this little piece here It'd be a little Torx bolt that you'd have to unbolt. I think it's like a T15 or something, but since my car's haggard as fuck, I don't have any of my fender liner in. That ghetto build, baby.
Stupid.
I'm gonna do the same thing on the other side. So as I lower the jack, you'll see a little bit of gap in between here. That's where we're gonna put those spacers in. The same thing on this back end, but obviously I'm only doing one side at a time. That way I'm not having to drop the entire cradle and put it back in. The bottom side, you won't be able to see it now, but once I remove these, there's gonna be 4 little slots. That's where those bullets will go in. These here, this one's gonna go in the top, but before we put this one in, here, put in this little brass fitting. So it's gonna sit in here. Nice and snug. Not really, but hopefully this one we have just enough space to wiggle her in. There we go. Let's get down into place, nice and flush. And on the bottom side, I'm gonna go ahead and do the other side on the top part. So on this one, you'll see how there's a, sorry my fat ass is out of breath, but you see how this one has recesses in there to where there's little indentions. And if you look at the bushing here, we can see that it has the same sort of similar recesses on it. So all you gotta do really, it's just like that there, and you see where it meets to the bushing itself. Obviously there's nothing to hold it in. So you're gonna have to kind of like hold it up in place, put the washer up there, and then bolt that arm back up. I think it's 74 foot-pounds, and then 90 to 105 degrees. From here into the back side of the car, there's 2 15 bolts you gotta get to. One here, and one here to get this rear arm off. And then once you get the rear arm off, it should just be the 18 mil holding in the actual rear cradle itself. You gotta drop those on both sides, obviously. And then once you're able to do that, I'll show you what you need to do next once we get those dropped. So for these pieces here, kind of like the front side, they have little recesses in them. Or I guess you would call these ones like keys that they would slide in. You just put them on the top side and kind of just find the spot. You can see it here, but so those little gaps on the sides and the front and the back. Now there's 2 little rubber teeth, and then you got a space in between those. That's where those 2 keys on the actual lockout kit's gonna go. You know, sit up top, and you do that on both ends. And then whenever you got those in, there's, let's see, where are we? There's in each 4 corner, one of those little silver bullets is gonna go up there. And if you're lucky enough, they'll just slide in. You just push them in with a long extension and like a hammer or something. But that's what we got the Lucas Red and Tacky for, just in case if they don't go in easily, we'll grease them up, have them slide in a little bit better. And you see there, that's kind of where you slot them in at. It's easier to push them in is if you start from one corner and then go to the other one in like a cross pattern or a star pattern. That way you're not pushing these 2 in, and then it makes it harder for these sides to be pushed in. Obviously here, this one's kind of a pain in the ass, but still kind of wiggle it in there. And we didn't need the hammer and extension for that one, but that's where those go. And then this little metal piece, obviously, you see how it has the slots here? It'll sit up against this. And then once you get these into a certain point, you could probably even use this to press those in the rest of the way. It's a little bit later now, but oh, damn, hear my knees. When tightening everything back up, this main one here, both on this side, the other side, and for the top bolt that actually mounts everything to the rear cradle, not the bottom bolt, or not the bottom nut that holds on the little arm brace. Those will be 74 foot-pounds. And then after you torque those to 74 foot-pounds, you're gonna turn them 90 to 105 degrees. And then for the 2 bolts that support this front, or the front side of this brace, both on this side, that side, and the additional 2 nuts that come off of this back one, and then the inner on both sides are just gonna be 50 foot-pounds. If you're having problems with pushing those pins in on there, whenever you get them in far enough to where it's sort of level with this rubber puck, you can put the old bolt in and make sure that's squared up with the rubber on here, and just tighten it back up, and it'll actually push those bullets in. For me, I did it on both sides for one of the bullets because they were just being a pain in the ass and didn't want to go in. So that kind of helped out a bit. You do want to replace, I want to say it's this bolt and this bolt on both sides because they're torque to yield. I mean, I went ahead for now and just reuse these ones because the car's not going to be running for quite a bit. Other than that, man, it's not a complicated install. It's very straightforward, simple. It's kind of hard to fuck this up, and if you do, then well, you shouldn't be doing this shit in the first place. Well, now that I got that rear cradle lockout kit in there, I can actually start to piece together the drive shaft. I got the end pieces here. These are the bolts for the ends of the drive shaft. I think the bigger one is going to go towards the transmission side, and then the smaller plate for the DSS drive shaft, the chromoly for the autos. The smaller part's going to go towards the, what do you call it, the differential. Obviously, I don't have those on right now, but because that two piece is still on there. So whenever you're putting those on there, DSS will actually mark on the mounting plates that mount to both your differential and your transmission. They'll have a little blue mark, and somewhere on here, well, mine I guess is a pink mark. You have to line those up because that's how they're balanced. I put the little dipstick in there. It's kind of a pain in the ass to put my hand in there and push this in there, but if you actually go from the bottom side where the starter is and just kind of finagle your hand in there and just grab it by the base, pause, and pull down, it'll just pop right in there. I'll probably end up doing the drive shaft in like another video along with some other stuff. That way this video is not too long in itself, because I don't want to just make a single video just putting in a fucking drive shaft. That makes no sense. As far as doing an alignment and everything else like that, like I already have to do it because I did the 15-inch kit. I think this one is SMG Speed. They give you the V6 brakes, Carlisle Racing tow rod. And I had already previously done the BMR upper control arm, upper trailing arm, and lower trailing arm. I don't plan on doing the rear sway bar unless I really need to. I doubt that I need to, but now that everything's torqued up, I'm just gonna put the wheels back on for now and call it a day. Then I'm gonna try to sit here and edit this one, try to put something out for you guys, maybe tomorrow, Monday. And then the following video, I'll probably end up doing the drive shaft along with other miscellaneous stuff. Maybe cutting up the front cowl for the Holly, kind of getting that mounted up. I still need to buy the fittings that go into the back side of the Holly so I can run the vacuum line from the brake booster and put in the MAF sensor. Oh no, sorry, not the MAF sensor, but the MAP sensor. And then one of the lines from the, I think it's either the CAT scan or the vacuum block from the Pro Charger kit itself. But so that's it for this one. Hope you guys enjoyed this little quick install of the rear cradle lockout kit. Yeah, man. Like, follow along. Hope to see you guys in the next video. Latest.